What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Built from the Bottom. I'm Reese Bowers, and as you can see, I'm officially rich now. I'm in a Maserati. Enough of me flexing my new status here. Just kind of kidding. Probably the only guy in a mullet that has ever worn a Maserati hat in general. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, mullet season. Full-fledged mullet season right now. But this is part 6 of my 2014 Jeep Wrangler build. If you guys have not seen my other 5 parts on this Jeep, I'll give you a little rundown of what is done to it. So I completely gutted this thing. I put brand new Aaliyah leathers inside of it. We got brand new carpets. Pretty much everything inside this Jeep has been touched, and I'm running 37 by 13 50s on a 22-inch by 12 ballistic wheel. And then we are running a 5.5-inch lift kit with a full powder coated suspension, and it doesn't really show up too well on camera, but these are chrome red because it is a 3-stage powder coat with a chrome underneath and then a transparent red on top, which gives it that chrome look. The LED headlights with halos. What we're going to be doing in this video is installing our front grumper and our fender wells. I got my sway bars, diff covers, which I did not have in last video, on my new painted rear bumper. The first thing I'm going to be getting into here is putting on these new diff covers. What I have to be doing first is torquing down those baskets properly because they're just hand tightened in there. And then we can get those diff covers on. So let's get right into it. Those 4 carrier bearing bolts are torqued to 45 pounds. Now I got my ultra black right here. Now I'm about to put this front differential cover on, and then I'm pretty sure these are 30 pounds torque. Get that front piece on, and then we can move over to the rear. So I'm gonna wait for this forma gasket to dry up until I put fluid inside of it, and I am just going to be putting in this cheap Walmart fluid. There is still sand from when they got sandblasted to get powder coated inside that diff, so I'm just gonna run this for maybe like 100 miles, then change it out with some actual good fluid. Now that I got that done, what I'm gonna be doing now is putting on this rear bumper. I have the exact same one in my blue Jeep over there. Really like these. What I gotta do is pretty much just go hold this thing up to it, and then it got these little pieces that go in here. You slide them in, and then you bolt it up on the sides right there, and then you bolt in your stuff for the hitch receiver. Pretty simple. Let's get this thing on there. There we go. I got the rear bumper on here. I also put the D-rings on. And I got these cool little rubber things that keep them from smacking up against it and rattling. And then there's 2 little bushing pieces I put inside of there so they don't shake around. And once I tightened it up, it actually makes them pretty snug. You see they're staying in place. Now it's time to start moving over here to the front. And I'm gonna figure out how to put this front grumper on here. Alright, so as you see, bumper's still not on, and I was fiddling with this thing. So this was actually flipped around. The bumper right here was hitting that piece sticking out, so I flipped it around. Now I'm just gonna go put this thing up there, make sure it's like fits, and then I'll deal with putting the fog lights inside of that little front bumper piece. Sweet, we're looking good. This thing is wanting to line up now. It was completely pushed over to the side, and it was not lining up with those frame holes. As you can see, it's down a little bit right now. That's just because there's not hardware inside of there. What I gotta do first before I can properly mount this thing up is get those fog lights into this little front bumper piece. And then I got these little ring things here that the actual hardware is gonna sit through. This is like where it initially goes through. It goes through 3 pieces. It goes through this, that, and then that. Then I clamp the hardware on the back side of it, and we're good to go. Dang, I got that front grumper on there, and it looks pretty sick, but it doesn't look put together properly because I don't have my fenders on it yet. But check that thing out. Put those D-rings in there. In the meantime, I don't have the little bumpers here for the front, but those are all in order, and they should be coming in pretty soon. But I'm gonna put the sway bars in. I don't have the links for them, so I'm just gonna be mounting up the sway bars with the new bushings on. Right, so for the rear bushings, they actually like open up, and you can slip them over like that. See how they open up right there? But the front ones, they don't. And I need to go get like some sort of Vaseline so I can slip it on there because that thing is all jammed up. There's no way it's fitting on there without any type of like lubricant. So I'm just gonna get this rear sway bar on, then go find some Vaseline. Aha, got what I need. Alright, we got the rear and front swing arms on there. And there's really not too much to it. Like, I don't have the links for it. So the coils on Nick's powder coat oven, I guess, went out, something like that. So that's the only reason I don't have those links. But the second he fixes that, those will be back and we'll be good to go. But I'm not too worried about it because I think we'll be getting those back about the same time I get my fenders. And once I get the fenders, we'll be good to go and I'll actually be able to drive this thing. The next thing I'm going to be getting into here is electrical. So you can see right here, I already wired up one of the plugs for these fog lights, and then this is what the OEM one looks like. So I'm gonna cut it right about here so I can show you guys, and then shorten this thing by like, I don't know, only leave like 4 inches of wire on it so we don't have a whole bunch of excess. Then as you can see, heat shrink it up, and I wrap it up with some electrical tape so it looks all clean. Then it just ends up getting tucked up in here, plug it in, and we should be good to go. So let me do this side real quick and then I'll show you the fog lights. That thing looks pretty much OEM. Alright guys, are you ready for this? Dang, dude, that looks so sick. I think with those LED fog lights and then the LED headlights, there's gonna be no need for a light bar on this, and light bars mounted up top are kind of out of style right now. Look at that, that looks so sick. I got one question for you guys. So I want to be able to actually use this winch on the Jeep, and I'm wondering, how do you access the release lever when you put this mesh over top of it? You won't be able to reach it through any of these inserts, and this kind of goes right there. I'm wondering, do you just not put the mesh there, then it would kind of look dumb with that whole front end open? Or do I end up plugging the thing in, cutting the wiring harness for the remote, wiring everything from the remote up to the cab, and then putting it on a rocker switch that will push the winch in and out? And then this will always just be engaged. I just don't know which is if that's like the proper way to do this or not. So if you guys could let me know down in the comments how you would go about wiring up this winch into this front grumper, because I definitely want to put the mesh here with a template over top of it, because I think it finishes the look of the Jeep. So that's it for right now, guys. I got a whole bunch of more stuff to do to this Jeep, and hopefully next video I will be able to pull it out of here and actually be driving it. That's gonna be it for this video. I will catch you guys in a couple of days with some bike content. Peace out. Wow, dude, this is their sheriff cars around here.
There's the race tires on there.
Dude, I would never run from the cops, but if this thing got behind me and I was on an R1, I don't know, man, like it would be